What's up? It's Fletch. Boom! Here we go. So we're going to be identifying valuable items. Like what's so-so, what's a little bit higher ticket. Show you how to spot vintage Star Wars items that are in high demand, stuff that sells, and then highlight key features, logos, and packaging, and details about that. Optimizing your listings, and then teach you how to create an engaging post on Facebook or OfferUp, and just some of my tips on that. Here we go. Okay, so identifying some vintage items. I just went through a collection with my friend Steve, and he had some stuff that I'm helping him sell. Definitely, yeah, these are some more modern stuff that was released around the new whatever trilogy age, around Kylo Ren, and it has Kylo Ren here on the thing, but this is Rebels. So in my world, if you're a deep dive Star Wars fan because of the Mandalorian and stuff, even though I literally put this up for like $15 on my Facebook page, about the only thing, yes, it's this flap right here, and this is delambing, but it doesn't look like it's really ever been removed from the packaging, but otherwise it should display. I put this up for about $15 plus shipping, so we'll see if that sells, and I'll just later lower the price. I will probably put it up on OfferUp also before I lower the price. And then the absolute worst case scenario, I'll take it down to the comic book shop, take all these down, a couple modern stuff, and see if they'll take it for a credit. And yeah, so this box in decent condition overall. So pretty much your modern, larger-ish 12-inch Biker Scout in the box. I've got two of these, so please comment below if you see this on YouTube and you wanna. You can also join Fletch Films. These are gonna be up for sale on Fletch Films Vintage Collector on Facebook. I'll try to put a link in that description below. So and then also I gotta price out. Boba Fett back here. This is probably like a 90s version. Yeah, it's dated 1995 on the bottom. I gotta look before I really put a price tag on him, but he is for sale also. And then, so the piece de resistance when we were going through the collection was Steve, and I'll do a topo here on this in a second, was a decent collection in these sleeves, and it's nice when they are in these sleeves. So let me go to the topo.
All right, here we are at the topo. It is nice when they are in these sleeves and they're not just in some box getting beat up. I'd say the overall condition, you look at the edges if someone really wants to grade these down the road. Now these are definitely worn. I'd say they're like a 5 or 6. Some are better than others. Now, if you know anything about the blue ones, and I'd have to really start searching through here. The blue border ones are like the first release, and then I haven't really memorized what came next, the red or the yellow or the green. But I just did a whole count of the yellows, because out of all this stuff, the yellow collection was the most. Now, yeah, unfortunately, I used Evil Bay to kind of, I've seen everybody offering up a complete collection of the yellow as high as $150, and then as low as probably like $50, $45, a complete stack of cards. So yeah, I'll come up with a number later on, probably show even a screenshot of that eBay listing, and then, discount it from there. Frankly, there is a whole art to this. if I was doing more mass stuff, I just kind of turn and burn. So I am going to point out stay tuned. I'm going to point out a special card in this set here in a second that usually can run anywhere from $100 to minimum 75, just that one card alone. So usually these stacks of cards, whether they're incomplete or complete, will hit around $50 to $40 if you really want to move them. People post them out there for $75 or $100 for the whole pack, but I just don't really know if they move. Sure, you could post them on eBay. What I was getting to is this one. So normally this is called the, I don't want to tilt my camera, and just keep it like this. The boner card. But this one has been corrected. So some people like having the goldenrod card. So if you have the goldenrod card, I don't want to touch on this too much, but he would frankly have a heart on, man. This rod, you can see right there where it was cut, where there's a sharp edge right there. It's been airbrushed out. But I don't know, the lore is that some Topps employee was about to get fired and somehow he snuck in this tip on the he made him look like he had a penis. So that's the one that's the goldenrod card. Now, back in the day, about 2-3 years ago, I was lucky enough to come into like 6 of them at the time. And I sold each one of those for $100 a piece. Some of them I sold for like $135. I shipped some of them all the way across the pond. Anyway, I'll put that one in the card later. I don't want to mess it up. So yeah, those are always in the green border. If you've ever seen them in the orange border or something, that's a fan-made thing, so don't think you've got something special. That's been fan-made and someone's trying to, I don't know, I literally was looking at eBay and I saw one with the orange border and someone's trying to charge $50 for it, and I'm like, yeah, this is not correct. Just if you want to do fan art, you know, I do custom figures, I'm all for it. But so I counted this whole set right here. I am missing exactly 3 of the numbers. God, man, I hate going through these cards. I love going through Kenner collections and toys and working on other toys and stuff, but I don't know what it is about going through the numbers and all that. It's just tedious as all hell. So stay tuned. I'm going to show you here. I'm going to go down here into the vault, into the lower Shedderoonie. And so there's the orange set. And what I've noticed on the orange set is there are a lot of production photos. There you go. There are a lot of behind the scenes. And those are super cool with Phil Tippett right there. And I mean, yeah, you get standard, you know, shots again, but you definitely get a lot of behind the scenes with the orange set. So just know that that's really cool. If you are into behind the scenes stuff, the orange set is where it's at. Somewhere I have a box, down here, of, I had like a loose set and I've been giving them away, onesie twosies with my purchases, just as a little thank you. It was probably stupid of me to do, but now I'll go through that set and see if I can find the last 3 that I'm missing, maybe, and I can complete a 100% full set of the yellow, and then I got to go back in and see if I can even complete a whole red set, and there's no hope on the blue and green. I don't get freaking sure. I just know that one's not hit. So these are the ones I set aside because I noticed I had duplicates of a lot of the yellow. Yeah, so let's walk out over here. Let's move Boba Fett out of the way. Oh, and then just here's like one of the quick tips I said in the beginning. Definitely identifying, you know, figures that are worth some money, like a Lumat, any of the last 17 Ewoks. For whatever reason, Warwick pulls a little bit more money. I'll try to have time to put a little picture of Warwick up here. Lumat, depending upon who you're talking to, can pull about 100 these days. In 2025, 100, you know, depending upon condition, and if he's got to have the original bow and all that. So that's Lumat from the last 17, and then you got Warwick, and then the Warwick just it pulls a higher dollar amount. I'm not going to say what, but he's in the, you know, upper hundreds. And yeah, so let's go walk out here. Just move Boba Fett out of the way. Go out of this shed and just walk out here, and I'm gonna go over to another box. So just stay tuned, hanging with me here, folks. So what do we got here? We got a Chewbacca mask. I gotta come up with whatever in the heck I can do for a Chewbacca mask. Selling that bad boy. Here is the other one of the speeder bikes. So frankly, I'm putting these up for just barely like $10 or $15. Because yeah, that's what it is. So this is kind of cool. The Clone Wars battles, like a miniature set, all in the box. So I'll have to see what old Evil Bay is charging for that bad boy. And then frankly, this walker, oh my god, it's got a real bent leg. I'm 99.99% sure, but now I'm looking at it, I'm gonna have to really do some looking at this. I feel that this was like a 90s version of the walker, but the leg is really almost jacked up beyond condition, so that's gonna be extremely discounted item. Jar Jar Binks. I'm gonna hang on, folks. I hope you stay tuned to the end of the video. Let me just get him out here, and then he is melted a little bit, but he got the basic integrity of him for the mask. I'm gonna open him up and try to get him to breathe. So that was kind of fun. And then the droid from Andor, right now, the TK unit, I think. He's kind of cool. And then these are just a bunch of, wow, this guy really got yellowed really quickly, and he's a modern figure, a clone trooper. It's ridiculous. So these aren't really worth a whole, frankly, hill of beans. They might sell barely for $5 a piece if we're lucky, because they're all really more modern kind of stuff. Okay. Oh yeah, and I have all this to go through too. So I think that's it for the show. I got stuff I'm sorting out through here. All my other modern stuff, so I'm just trying to decide what I'm going to display and what to do with. Okay, this is Fletch with Fletch Films. This is the latest acquisition of what I got to sell and what I'm putting on Facebook, and for my tips on selling on Facebook and OfferUp. I'll see you in the next video. Peace.